The history of Native Americans in the United States is a complex and deeply significant story that spans thousands of years. Long before European settlers arrived, indigenous peoples inhabited the land, developing rich cultures, languages, and societies. Their history is marked by resilience, adaptation, and struggle in the face of colonization, forced removal, and cultural suppression. Pre-colonial era. Native American civilizations thrived across North America for millennia before European contact. Tribes such as the Apache, Cherokee, Sioux, and Iroquois developed sophisticated governance systems, trade networks, and agricultural practices. The Mississippian culture, for instance, built large cities like Cahokia, while the ancestral Puebloans constructed intricate cliff dwellings in the Southwest. European contact and colonization. With the arrival of European explorers in the 15th and 16th centuries, Native American societies faced dramatic upheaval. The Spanish, French, and British brought diseases like smallpox, which devastated indigenous populations. Colonization led to violent conflicts, land dispossession, and the disruption of traditional ways of life. Native resistance such as King Philip's War 1675–1676, and the Pueblo Revolt 1680, showcased indigenous resilience against European encroachment. The Trail of Tears and westward expansion. In the 19th century, U.S. expansionist policies led to forced removals of Native Americans from their ancestral lands. The Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed by President Andrew Jackson, resulted in the forced relocation of thousands of Cherokee, Creek, and other tribes in what became known as the Trail of Tears. This tragic event caused thousands of deaths due to harsh conditions and disease. Resistance and assimilation efforts. Despite facing military campaigns such as the Indian Wars of the late 19th century, Native Americans fought to maintain their sovereignty. Battles like the Battle of Little Bighorn 1876, and the resistance led by leaders such as Sitting Bull and Geronimo became symbols of Native American defiance. Meanwhile, assimilation policies such as the Dawes Act of 1887 and boarding schools attempted to erase Native cultures and languages. 20th and 21st century struggles and resilience. The 20th century saw Native Americans advocating for their rights through movements like the American Indian Movement, AIM, in the 1960s and 70s. The Indian Self-Determination Act of 1975 marked a shift toward tribal governance and autonomy. Today, Native Americans continue to fight for land rights, cultural preservation, and social justice while revitalizing their traditions and languages. The history of Native Americans in the U.S. is one of both hardship and strength. Despite centuries of challenges, indigenous communities remain vibrant and resilient, continuing to shape the nation's cultural and historical landscape.